New donors represent a massive opportunity, but also a massive challenge.
What does the math tell us? And this, again, it's the Fundraising Effectiveness Project. This is the September 2025 edition. So the new donor represents a very large portion of the typical database, around 38%. So in a given year, 38% of donors are new donors. And the retention rate on those new donors is actually 14%. So that means that only 14% of those new donors will actually make a second gift.
Here's the problem. Most new donors didn't give to you. They gave to a friend.
Well, the majority of times, the donor or the new donor didn't actually give to your organization. They actually gave to their friend.
Now let's talk about your most valuable segment, repeat donors.
That was a recap. That was looking at some of the acquisition donors or the new donors. Now, if we move ahead, we're into the repeat donors. So these are kind of your loyal donors and ones that give every year. That should represent about 40% of your donor base. Average retention rates on this is somewhere around 43% retention rates. And it's 1/10 of the cost. Remember, I said it was 10 times the cost. So this is 1/10 of the cost of acquisition. So retaining a donor costs you 1/10. Very important that you want to retain as many of those donors as you can.
Don't leave revenue on the table. Let your donors decide if they want to give. Don't decide for them.
Guarantee you someone else is going to get a donation from them. So, short of doing a hard ask, you can do a softer ask, more of an information, leave it open. But withholding an ask is not being steward. It's not stewardship. It's actually leaving revenue on the table.
Finally, recaptured donors, the toughest segment with a sobering reality.
Well, we know that a donor who hasn't given in the last 2 years, they are 98% likely never to give again. You're going to see it as 2% in a few slides. So 98% of those donors who haven't given in the last 2 years are likely never to give again.
They make up 13% of your base with just a 2% recapture rate. Being selective is critical. Ready to implement these strategies? AmpliPhi makes it easy to segment your donors and prepare smarter campaigns that raise more money.